Do I get to do that too?
If you want. Let's do it together. One, two, three. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Groove. I'm here with the wonderful Giselle De La Rosa, Associate Director of Cine Las Americas Film Festival. Bienvenida.
Mucho gusto para estar aquí con usted.
So, Giselle, I love your name, by the way.
Thank you so much. Can I just already say, you've already, two things. Burn and Groove is the name of my brother's band that he was in many years ago. And I will always say, that's my favorite band. And you say my name like he does. Giselle.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of people do the S.
Because I see it in Spanish. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I see it in Spanish. Yeah. Y De La Rosa is such a wonderful it's a powerful yet soft kind of thing, right? Because something like those Latin names, de Córdoba or de something, but this is De La Rosa.
And we can talk more about that. I've already cut you off. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for being here. So there's a bunch of stuff we could talk about, but let's just get Cine Las Americas front and center, because I want to hear all about your take on it. I remember when the festival started 28 years ago, right? It was Celeste Quesada, then Celeste Serna Williams at the time. Tell us about Cine Las Americas Film Festival.
Yes. So you totally nailed it. 28 years in Austin, which I think is incredible.
Yes.
28 years anywhere, right?
Yeah.
The longevity. So Cine Las Americas is a nonprofit multicultural organization here in town that focuses on Latina and indigenous film from around the world.
So you've never said that before?
Ever in my life. It's my middle name. I love to say it.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer being behind the scenes and then also growing up as a performer and an actor. There is space for everyone. I totally believe that. I think in a lot of different instances, we are told there isn't, or we are made to believe that things we're in competition. But I think it's community, and I think it takes people to help pave the way. Celeste and her friends Renee and a few other friends started Cine because they wanted to see some Cuban films. Mm-hmm. And I think they started at the Dobie Theater, at the Dobie Mall.
Yeah, when it was, I guess it doesn't exist at all anymore.
Like the sign is there.
It's kind of sad when you drive by there, yeah.
Oh, I've been in Austin 19 years, and, I guess I'm part of the new wave of things that have changed, but it's interesting to see the continuation of all of that. So, Cine, let's bring it back, shall we?
And
scene.
Scene.
So, I got involved a couple years ago. I love film. I went to school 10 years ago in New York City, and it was there that I learned that I was completely surrounded by talent. And part of my mission as an artist was to make sure that the light was shown on the talent around me. And so when I came back to Austin, I carried that with me and started a film festival with my friend Liz Tabish. And we created films together, but also had a complete understanding and a very similar taste on film, what we liked and what we wanted to see more of.
Sure.
At film festivals, you might see one or two strange films. We wanted to see
all the strange films.
Yep. So we cultivated a little community pre-pandemic, did that for a few years. And I got approached by
What was the name of that festival?
It started as Austin Arthouse.
Okay.
And we had big dreams. And so we changed the name to the Arthouse.
Oh yeah,
Film Festival.
yeah, because it was the one.
It was the one.
Yeah.
We started pre-pandemic, did stuff at AFS Cinema, which is where we do Cine Las Americas.
Right.
And COVID hit, so then we did everything online, which was actually one of those weird blessings. During COVID, I know we have a multitude of experiences, a lot of negative ones
Sure.
Throughout COVID, but there's little pockets of brightness.
I
And
couldn't agree more.
you know what I mean?
I do.
So for us and for that community that we wanted to serve, it was now instead of being in Austin for one night, you can be anywhere around the world and you have more time to watch more films because we couldn't.
Because everybody had nothing but time.
Yes. And we weren't spending money on theater rental. Instead, we could give it back to the film community, which is really, really cool. So we do that at Cine too. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it ADHD? Is it perimenopause? But I'm like, I will go. There's like a flower.
It's non-linear.
And there's
it's okay.
roots and everything.
I can keep
Just
up.
to prep everyone.
I can keep up. I'll
I
rein
know
us
you
in.
can. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you.
Thank you so much.
So
So-
Cine Las Americas and the pandemic hits. How did you get involved into Cine Las Americas proper?
There's just some changes in leadership, and they were looking for people to fill in the gaps. And we had a lovely conversation in New York City. I was visiting. There came a point in my life where I made a lot of changes, and in those changes, it was like I'm gonna do whatever I want. So I went to New York for a weekend and caught a couple shows because you can do that. You can go anywhere and do anything and then come back home and take care of business.
Being an adult is nice. I always dreamt of doing that when I was a kid. I just want to do whatever I want.
But, there's other confinements within the adulthood
Of
that you
course.
can get yourself
Responsibilities.
into. Yeah, that. So we took a train back to Brooklyn. I was literally staying around the corner from him and didn't know it. And so we talked about Cine and, what I could possibly do there. And I stepped in the first year very soon before the 25th year. And so I really was just like, whatever gaps they needed filling, I did my best to do that. And then I stuck around and started watching films. Started helping out with like being a filmmaker liaison and working on hospitality, which is something that I really, really enjoy. The watching of the films too. I work with other organizations where I'm like, I can help you watch all the films. Just like, I just want to be
washed over.
Yes. I just love the creativity, the fact that people can have an idea and bring it to life. And for the most part, be in collaboration with their community, and then you bring it to life. I was at the cinema yesterday, and I have this. I don't know if I equate it to like being a member of SAG-AFTRA myself, but I will stay till the very end of the credits because I want to pay homage to all of the people involved. It's not just the people on the screen that we see.
That's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Like, it's hundreds and hundreds of people. I mean, that's part of the beauty of cinema is that it encompasses every art form just about, and everybody coming together to build this thing that's much bigger, right? I mean, it's
100%.
acting, it's photography, it's music, it all just
Color.
There's so many people. A lot of people don't
Locations.
realize really what's involved in making any kind of film.
Well, it's really creating another world, and
Yeah.
so I like those worlds, and I thoroughly respect and appreciate what people are doing, and so I just want to appreciate and respect what people are doing all the time. And stepped up to the plate to be associate director a couple years ago. Kind of happened pretty quickly. I work with a fantastic team of people. We really have a good time. And in times of uncertainty, we really just take the time to talk things over and hear from everybody. And it's just I think one of the very first groups that I've been a part of that I actually feel seen and heard. And
That's a big deal.
I'm in my mid-40s, so
That's a big deal.
it didn't happen quickly for me, but that's okay. Happy to be part of the team. So we're building the 28th year. We are working on our programming now. Something that we've done, a couple of things that we've done in the last year, going on second year, is we've built a conference aspect of the festival for community and industry professionals and bringing them together.
So does that add a day and a different event to the festival?
It doesn't add a day, but it does add another option for people to
Another
come.
layer.
Another layer, if you will, in the Cine Circle.
Yes.
So that's really awesome. We want to be able to provide options for people. The other thing is we've been really working on honing in on our educational resources and working with the youth. So we have added another day for the Emergente Youth Festival.
That's cool.
That used to be part of the 5 days that we do at AFS Cinema. I think at one year we were over at We Heart Video or We Love Video over there on North Loop, and another amazing community organization. And then, but we actually added for the next weekend. So I don't have a calendar in front of me, but the Saturday after our festival, which will be taking place May 13th through the 17th.
May 13th through the 17th. Excellent.
Find out more info at cinelasamericas.org.
Well done.
We have the Emergente Youth Festival. So that's filmmakers ages 19 and younger.
Cool.
And we get to celebrate their work. We're also doing workshops for students in elementary school. We did that a couple summers ago, free programming. Best Buy is one of our sponsors and working with the YMCA. And we just finished a new program called Club de Clout. And so really just giving young people the opportunity to be creative within the film genre.
And to learn and be around like-minded people and the creative process.
Yeah, and learn to like empower themselves to use their voice and let them know that their vision is important and we want to see it because there is a place for everyone.
Yeah. So what is the selection process like? Do people send submissions?
Yes.
Do you seek people out?
Yes.
Is it both? Yes. How many films do you watch? How many get accepted? Seems like a lot.
It's all of it. We go through FilmFreeway, which is an incredible platform that
FilmFreeway.
FilmFreeway is a film submission platform. A lot of film festivals go through there. Just going to shout out the Arthouse Film Festival for being top 100. I don't know. It was the thing that they told us. I don't know really what it means in the grand scheme of things. So we get hundreds of submissions through there. There's also, we have some incredible programmers, Florencia and Ernie, and they're out and about throughout the film festivals here in the U.S. And they're kind of shopping for films too.
Doing the rounds.
Yeah. That's like next dream job for me is like, sure, I'll go to all the film festivals.
I'll travel to go see movies.
Yeah, why not? Oh, there's a seat for me? Wow, thank you so much. All of us who are involved are like pretty busy with other projects too. So
Certainly.
we give this year, I'm like, this year we're going to start earlier and we'll get everything done. And it'll feel breezy, hopefully, and we'll enjoy every moment.
Yeah. How's that working out?
We still are taking time, but we give ourselves grace, which I think is a big deal.
Totally.
And when we can do that for ourselves, it's so much easier to do that for each other.
Yeah.
People we work with, people we don't know. You know what I mean? So
I do.
That's we had a sweet call last week kind of talking about that. And it's like, I'm giving this to you because I know I need it too.
Because it's such an involved thing and working. It's a nonprofit umbrella, and you have all sorts of other things you do. What's the most challenging thing for you in that world? Oh, it got serious all of a sudden, huh?
There's like two things that I'm constantly learning to do better: time management and just being organized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. The end.
That is all you're getting.
Because we're out of time. I have so many alarms on, and then, oh man, last week was so weird. Last week was a really weird week. I was putting my alarms on, but like for the wrong days. So I'm like, Last week was a little bit challenging.
What would you say before we move on to more about the stuff
Okay.
about you? Yes.
As far as challenging, like, I think the thing is, with the want and the love and the support of being a voice for the community, it's like, yes, there's room for everyone and we want to celebrate everyone, but it's like logistics.
Oh yeah.
Even this year we've had to manage like theater space a little bit differently, and so we're trying to be more creative with what we can do. Like if we're not going to be in 2 theaters at AFS this year, so we're like, oh, maybe we can do some late night screenings. So after we have a full day of screenings, we can go to another venue. And then we can do like maybe a little bit darker stuff or maybe more adult themed stuff. And then just trying to be creative about how we move things. Because I don't think that we're a group of people that are like, oh, we're defeated, we can't do this thing. It's like, oh, we just this is an opportunity to do it differently. We lost funding last year with all of that stuff going on. And, people stepped up to the plate. And it's just being able to maneuver, having flexibility and being able to adapt, but always with that creative mindset at the forefront to make those changes something that can be positive.
Yeah.
As they say, without a positive look on my face, perhaps.
Well, that's perfect as far as challenges, because when your resources are limited, it forces you to get more creative. And that can be frustrating at times, but it can also yield some very interesting results
that you wouldn't have found otherwise. So I think those are gifts.
Yep.
Like I am a huge advocate for that.
I agree.
For change and for having to maneuver in different ways.
I agree. What's that phrase? Necessity is the mother of invention. It's a phrase for a reason.
There you go.
There it is. Next. So before I ask you too much about all that, so where are you from originally?
I grew up in Placentia, California. First generation. Placentia.
Placentia, okay.
Yeah. In Orange County, Southern California. To my parents that immigrated from Cali, Colombia in the 60s. Cool. I am the third of 3 children, and my 2 older brothers are musicians, and my father is a painter. And I grew up in a family of artists.
So I'm always fascinated by that, because a lot of times we rebel. Against what we have around us, and it's like I'm not going to be an artist, I'm going to be an accountant or whatever it may be. What was that experience for you?
The rebelling was more social and like how I live my life now, I think. But I loved being immersed in the classical piano that my brother would play every fucking day.
Wow.
First radio station I listened to was KMFA when I moved here. And I got to be on Diane Donovan's show last year, so dream come true. And now my new dream for this year is to be on your show. And look, it happened.
Just like that.
Things really work out for me.
Yeah, apparently so. Well, there is a power in manifesting.
Absolutely. Or womanifesting. Womanifesting.
Or just festing.
Festing and feasting.
And feasting.
And film festing. So
do you play an instrument? Did you
I
pick
played
anything
a
up?
little bit. I guess, we did like in the school system, in the public school system, I think
California?
The first thing that we are introduced to is the recorder.
Oh, yeah.
I played saxophone for a little bit, I think like 4th and 5th grade.
Which one?
Alto. And then I took a couple classical guitar classes in college. But my main thing was dance.
Where did you go to school? College?
I ended up graduating from Cal State Fullerton.
Majoring in?
Communications, entertainment studies. I loved a lot of the other classes that I took at OCC. I also went to Fullerton College. I did a lot of college.
Yeah.
And I loved anthropology, sociology, religion, world religion. So I ended up getting a minor in comparative religion just because I had the credits. College was when I first learned to love learning. I didn't really care too much about it prior. I think it was very more on the social. I was,
Same here.
the social aspect of school was the exciting part for me. But I danced my way up through high school. I was in a touring, educational touring dance troupe at OCC, covering social justice issues through
Wow.
dance. And then I taught kids for a little bit. And then I had a baby. And then we moved to Austin. And then I ended up in a dance group here. So I did that for
Why
a
is that
couple of years.
surprising?
I didn't, well, I started a family like pretty soon right after college. And so there was something in me that thought like, oh, okay, this is what my focus is. And I didn't really do things for myself for a number of years. I didn't know that I could. And it's not that nobody told me that I couldn't. And it's not that my mom is a badass. I love my mom so much. She, what a strong, beautiful, giving woman. She's done so much for the people around her. I was in Colombia with her last month, and the more and more I spend time with her, because all my family's still in California, the more and more I spend time with my mom, and I have a daughter who's almost 20, and we get along really well. My relationship with my daughter is much different than my relationship with my mom. Love all throughout, but I realize how incredibly similar I am to my mother, and how with like the little nuances, and then like, oh, that's why I love talking to strangers, because we were at this hotel. My mom is literally introducing me to every person in the hotel, and I'm like, and I felt like my daughter. Like, it's so interesting to be in the middle, to be a daughter and to be a mother at the same time. It's actually really, really cool to just have those perspectives. And then it just, more than anything, it's just more, it gives me more reason to give more grace.
Sure.
For both sides and
Sure.
for myself. But my mom, badass, retired, worked it for like the county of Orange for 30 plus years. Retired, didn't want to retire, got a couple gigs, and there was never like, you can't do this because you're a mom, but somehow in my programming of society or something,
Well,
I took that on.
We develop as people all sorts of insecurities throughout the process of growing up, regardless of how positively we've been raised or not. That stuff just happens
Right.
environmentally, right? And
Yeah.
once you pinpoint it, then you can change it, right?
Yes. And I feel like for me, more than insecurities, it was like limitations. I felt like there was a lot of limitations. I grew up in a very strict household. So there were a lot of things like I wasn't allowed to
Sure.
do, and a lot of things like I couldn't do. So yeah, took some time, went to acting school in New York City 10 years ago, just 10 years ago. I mean, I didn't really get into acting until my 30s. And
What drove you to do that in your 30s? What you woke up one day, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to study acting.
I wanted to for a really long time. That was part of something that I wanted to do.
That's
when
how
I
I
was a
pictured
kid.
it right now in my mind when you said
Yeah,
that. Is
one
that really
day,
how it happened?
was no. I like would slowly try to do something, but like I said, I thought that I had a lot of limitations, and I also gave those limitations to outside sources, but really they were within myself.
Certainly.
So yeah, by the time 30 rolled around, it was like, listen, it's now or never, baby. Like, I'm entering a new era. Like, I have this young daughter. Let's show her how it's done. Let's do what we are drawn to, or at least give it a shot, right?
Lead by example.
Yeah, lead by example. I had a partner at the time who was supportive of that, and literally gave me acting classes on my 30th birthday. And
Oh, that's cool.
I went to the acting school here in Austin on my 30th birthday, and like saying happy birthday to myself like a silly person, because I think we had to sing something. And it just kind of took off from there. I think I got an agent, and then I was continuing classes, and then I went to a workshop where Tom Todoroff, who's the director of the conservatory that I attended, was coming through. He'll go through and like kind of tour the states and see who's out there because he was building a conservatory. So the whole time I was in tears because it wasn't about acting. It was about being a human. And it just really spoke to me. And it was really about connecting with yourself and the people around you and why we have the relationships that we do and what we do within those relationships. And I like came home crying and was like, I can go to New York for 1 week and do all of these classes with these professionals. And it was like oh my gosh, is that something that I can even do? Like, am I capable of doing that? Can we afford that? Can a mom go and like to New York for 1 week and do something for herself? And ultimately made the decision to do it. And then I got to meet that community and we, developed a relationship, and they asked me to come and be part of their conservatory the next year. And I was like, what? How does somebody like me do that? And then we did it. It was very much a family effort. And the first book that I had to read for this conservatory was The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Are you familiar?
I am familiar.
And it was like a culmination for me to get into acting, of like being at a crossroads of like really developing the person that I want to be, being that example for my daughter. And I just saw something online the other day where it was, the saying of like, you only live once. And it's this cute little cartoony, it's not in motion, so illustration, animation of somebody, or like the next cutie character next to it saying, wrong, we only die once. We live every day.
Yep.
I love it.
It's very true.
So cool, right? Yep. So that was all kind of happening for me at the same time. So I made some really big strides and decided to live the life that I believe I'm meant to live.
Fantastic. I love that. A lot of people don't get to do that,
or
don't allow themselves to do
100%. And my like theme or like my mantra around that time was like, give yourself permission.
Yeah. And
I like to tell people that because I think we're all capable. I think we're all worthy of living the life that we dream to live.
Yep.
And, throughout programming, again, what we talked about earlier, society or family even, it really takes us to break that chain. And for me, it was, I think, reading that book. And I sent a copy to my parents. I'd like to think that I bought them like a Spanish version so that they could fully read it, which I think is probably originally in Spanish.
I think it was.
Yeah. It was like a very healing book for me because it talks about, so the 4 agreements are, and not in any particular order, always do your best, never take anything personally, be impeccable with your word, and never make assumptions. And the reason why this person put this together is to share and teach people how to lead a life without all of the suffering that we tend to, or that we like to, or are comfortable with.
Self-imposed baggage, so much of it.
Yeah.
Most of it.
100%. So it was, they talk about, when we're born, we don't have any choices. We don't get to choose the family, the language, the location, your name, like none of that. So there comes a point where you get to start having choices, and that just, as like I said before, like all culminated for me at the same time.
That's wonderful. That's a great story. I like that. The modern era we live in places so many limitations on what we do or what we allow ourselves to do. And it happened to me as a musician a lot. A lot of people would come and be like, oh, I always wish I would have done this, wish I would have done that. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a wish. Like, you either choose to and overcome fear, because it's not going to be an easy life regardless of what you choose to do, right? So you can either There's door 1, door 2, door 3. It's all going to be a challenge. Some careers might have inherent better cushioning, if you will. But at the end of the day,
That's someone else's idea of success. I have so much to say about everything that you just
that is the idea of success.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but how it was, the fantasy of success as it's presented to us, especially when we're growing up, is completely ludicrous.
100%.
Like, it took me a while to realize, okay, you get to define what success is for you.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
And that doesn't mean that you've always just arrived, but,
You have to get there, or you at least
landmarks.
Yes.
And goals and achievements all just continue to build you up in that way, right?
Absolutely. You said wishing. That was a big thing for me because I was a big wisher. I've been a big daydreamer since day one, and I still am a big dreamer, big imagination.
That's a great creative thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have a lot going on in here. But I was like, I'm done wishing. I'm ready to do. Also, all of those, like, those rules are made up. Somebody else made them up.
Oh, yeah.
So you get to a point where you're like, cool. I like 2 things with rules. Learn them so you know how to break them, and then make up your own.
Totally.
And then the other thing that you said, doing hard things. Glennon Doyle is an author and says, a lot of people will respond like, oh, it's so hard. We can do hard things. Yeah, it's hard and you can do it. And she says specifically, choose your hard.
Yeah.
We're very capable, ladies and gentlemen, and other.
Well, I don't know what part of life is easy.
Right.
So, I mean, this whole thing that things are supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be difficult because you're supposed to be learning and growing.
Yes.
And getting to a better place, right? If it was, it's another cliche saying. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
100%.
And then they're not because,
I feel like I was pretty spoiled. Like, as much as I had a very strict house. I was in a very strict household. I was also very spoiled. Being my parents, if my parents were here today, they would say hi to you and then they would tell you that I am the most wanted baby. Like, they still really
You're the baby?
I'm the baby.
Yeah.
I'm the only girl. So, and my brothers are 12 and 7 years older than me.
Sure.
And they were trying and they were told that they can't have any more, and finally decided to accept that. And then once
along
they did,
came you.
and then I appeared out of nowhere. So
Sí se puede.
Pone pilas. Ponen las pilas. They did a lot. My parents have done a lot for me.
Certainly.
So they made it as difficult as I thought with all of these limitations and all these rules. They also made things very easy for me. But then with the ease, I had a hard time transitioning into adulthood because I'm like, that nobody's doing that for me. Nobody really taught me how to do it. They just kind of told me, or they would just do it because it was easier, or they did things to protect me.
Sure.
So there was not a lot of truth telling, I don't think,
right, for
my protection.
So on that note, let me ask you, as a parent, how have you handled that in raising a child? Because the instinct, I don't know, I don't have any kids, so I'm speaking out of turn, but the instinct would seem to me is to protect, but a lot of times allowing them to feel discomfort and see how the world is a way of protecting them in the long run.
Yes. I've done a lot of things differently. Part of the reason of moving away was to have that space to do so and to figure that out. And I think it's almost been like I've told my daughter too much. And so I've had to reel it in a little bit.
I've said too much.
She's so smart. She is smarter than I've ever been and that I ever will be. She is my greatest teacher. And I knew when I became a parent that I was going to share information.
Yeah.
and that I was going to say hard things and that I was going to receive hard things to hear because
Truth.
you know, I I think I just have a very different perspective on raising children than my parents 100%. I think maybe kind of from a lot of people. I don't know. I try to be very careful with my words and how I present. So I would curate things for my daughter, but I would also give her information to the point where we'd be like in a store and she would ask me like at 4 years old, Mom, is this in your budget? Because she knew like, I'd be like, no, honey, we can't get that. That's not in the budget, like.
But that's
kind of
very
just
real.
a little bit more,
That's
like
very awareness.
giving
is
more
important.
context to a
Yes.
kid.
Yep.
Like I like to tell parents, don't just say no to your kid when they're young, especially because that's a word that they like to repeat back. But like, I would say that's not going to work out today, but we can try again tomorrow. Just like a little bit, like give a little bit more for this child to work with.
Exactly.
Right?
A little context or information can go a long way.
Let our children know where we're coming from. Also, these children are being raised on these adult schedules
Right.
that like we can't even totally do.
Right.
And we're expecting these young kids to do things that like we're not even really hitting.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of I don't know. I just try to be thoughtful from the perspective of others, but especially like I used to get a little upset hearing parents like out and about, and I just want to be like, oh, please don't say that to your children. I think the world is hard and we just have to do our best to be as like giving that love and support from within, because they're gonna have to deal with hard shit. Also, what we're doing at home, we're allowing our children to expect that behavior, or like if things aren't like totally positive or there's some negative things happening at home, that's going to be what they're used to. That will be
Sure.
what they gravitate towards, or they'll think that's okay in other relationships. So
It's very complicated.
it's very complicated. There's more than one way to do it.
Oh,
I think
of
many
course.
things. So I don't want to say my way is the only way, but like just even with my parents, like I try to, there was a lot of like, I don't know, religion and structure at home. And so I'm like, no structure.
Yeah.
How I'm feeling, and welcoming a lot of different ideas and knowing that just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. And I think that was a big thing that I didn't understand growing up in the household that I did, is like, it's not weird. It's not weird or bad if somebody believes something different. And I think maybe that's why I gravitated towards all of those classes that garnered me a minor in comparative religion.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate. I can relate to all of that. So you're acting. How? What is because you have done some theater here in town, and what is the theater scene like here in town? Because there's so much going on in Austin. I think that world tends to really get kind of pushed aside, or just kind of people miss it. I know I do.
There is so much theater
Tell us about
going
it.
on in town.
Tell us about it, Giselle.
I'm pretty involved, and there's so much more than I know.
Right.
I moved here in 2007, and out of the cities that we were considering, this is the one that we came to. I hadn't even been here, and I was just so ready for a change. I love me a good adventure. So happy to have raised my daughter in Austin because of the arts and the amount of arts and how different the arts can be, even within the same system.
Certainly.
I'm lucky. I'm privileged to be part of the Be Item Payne Awards Committee that gets to go to witness a lot of theater in town, and we celebrate outstanding work here in our fair city. And so I'm going to the theater quite often.
So what are some spots that people would benefit from knowing about?
Ground Floor Theater.
Ground Floor Theater.
Off of Springdale and Airport, just behind the Austin Bouldering Project. They just celebrated 10 years, and they have been a beacon of celebrating historically underrepresented voices. that you don't see in theater. And they work with an incredible program that helps develop directors, young directors. They have GFT Rights, which is a group of, I think, 4 playwrights and developing their craft throughout the year and supporting their journey.
What is GFT?
Ground Floor Theater.
Okay. I'm terrible with acronyms, no matter what they are.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. And they also, with the incredible work they're doing, they also have their facilities available for other people to have to rent out their space and use as a performance space as well.
Cool.
I'm on the board of Ground Floor. I've done a few shows there. The last show that I did there was incredible. It was called Amy and the Orphans, and it focused on a young woman with Down syndrome and her siblings. And
was that your role?
I played the caretaker of Amy, and I had so much fun with this incredible group of people. We've done our best to stay in touch. We're trying to go bowling. Guys, tell me what time we're going. We finally figured out a day. And so I think one of my favorite things about theater is like being able to work with people again that you haven't worked with. But this was especially a core group of people that I just thoroughly enjoyed. Every person behind the scenes on the stage with me.
It's such it's like a mini family. It's such an intense experience for a short period of time.
For like 2 months.
Yeah.
You're rehearsing and then you perform and then you actually get breaks in between the performances.
Some bonds are made and broken. And
yeah. It's really incredible. Yeah. I really love that. So Ground Floor, the Vortex has been around. They're doing some really cool shit. Hyde Park Theater.
Right.
Big love to Ken Webster over there. They're hosting all kinds of cool stuff, festivals, theater festivals, like Out of Ink is coming up, I believe, in April. Scriptworks is an incredible organization. Hi, Christy. Where they're supporting playwrights in Austin and give them multitude of opportunities to get their work produced here in town. And they select actors to bring those stories to life. I think I went to 3 plays this weekend. So
wow,
there's enough for that.
What is a good resource for people? Where can people find out about these things?
So unfortunately, we used to have the Chronicle used to list all the theater. So that's not happening anymore.
They're just not listing it, or
it's just like not part of their paper anymore.
What about
they
online?
Just, like,
do they mention it online?
It might be. Check the Chronicle. Sometimes I'll look for auditions. Maybe just Google theater
Austin.
Look up Ground Floor Theater. City Theater is doing some really great stuff. I'm always impressed every time I go there. I was able to walk there. They're across the street from Mueller. I feel pretty blessed to be. I live in Mueller, and we've got like a couple theaters near there. Rude Mex is an incredible, outstanding performance group that's been around for a while.
Rude Mex?
Rude Mex, the Rude Mechanicals. The McCullough Theater has been putting out some really great stuff. Hey, that's where I saw you last.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. Laboratorio.
Oh, which one was it? Was it the radio one, or was it?
No, with the was it Ruben?
Yeah. Ruben Ramos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just saw Carrie the other day.
Yeah.
So I've been working with the Paramount, the Story Wranglers.
Oh, cool.
Which is, are you familiar with that?
I'm not, but I love the Paramount.
It's a really cool educational program that works with 3rd graders.
Oh, wow.
And it's a group of teaching artists and performers that bring their stories to life.
Oh, cool.
And so we had a bunch of people from Paramount come out to see our performance. Last Friday, we go and perform at their elementary schools.
Wow.
I am with some of the most incredibly talented and people that are willing to be silly, I think, are my favorite people because they're so talented and they're singing and they're dancing and they're improvising. Like I'm with like the creme de la creme of improv and theater performers in town. and I'm learning so much. But I'm just they bring me so much joy, and we're constantly in rehearsals to like get these stories in and to devise them and to turn some of them into songs. And then we perform them for the kids, and it's just so cool.
Nice.
So Carrie was at the last. I told her I was
cool.
going to be here with you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love Carrie.
She's fantastic.
How do you memorize lines?
I don't know. I wish I had like a.
Pues quién sabe.
You know what's funny is like I will. Sometimes I can pick things up rather quickly. Sometimes I'll record myself saying them and I'll listen to that. I will sleep with my script. Like I will have my script by my pillow and just like any way that I can absorb.
Like, do you read it and then just have it
lines.
play while you sleep, or?
No, I just like let these like them trickle into my dream state.
Receive the pages through osmosis.
Yes, osmosis was what I was going to say, but I did not know if that was the correct term to receive scripts while you sleep.
Well, I don't know.
But you know what I mean.
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever works.
I like to write down the words so that they're coming from me in a different format, and I can see them in my written writing.
Handwritten.
Yeah. Sometimes cursive. I don't know. I think I'm more comfortable writing in cursive, but then sometimes I can't read my own writing. So just like the action of those words coming from me.
Yeah.
So it's a multitude of ways. Yeah.
Have you had a moment on stage where you just blanked?
I'm sure I have. I'm blanking
You're
right now.
You're blanking on the blank? Yeah.
Yeah, those are really incredible moments in theater when that happens because it's so real.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I have. I think.
And there's no hiding.
There's no
like
hiding.
Everybody's there.
I will say I feel like I am a pretty good recoverer,
Good.
though.
Yeah.
Like something that I learned in school
That's
is like
key in life,
you never
right?
say, "Oh, can we start again?" or "Oh, I'm sorry." Like you never want to cut yourself because that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
You really have to figure out where you're going as that character.
Yeah, don't break the spell.
Do not break the spell.
Yeah.
One thing, I did a show at Hyde Park last year. My dear friend Raul Garza wrote a play called My HEB, and we did it one night, and the power went out, and we kept going, and it was so cool.
Did somebody bring out candles or something? Or
I don't even know that they had candles. People put up their
lights?
phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kenna was on stage. It was a 3-person show. Kenna was on stage, and he did not miss a beat. So my friend Janelle and I were backstage waiting. It was like a number of monologues after another. It was like the guy that works at HEB, and it was like the older woman who, complained about how things are now and like reminisced on back in the day. And then there was me. And then there was me I was obsessed with food. Food is a huge part of my cultura and my family. And so I was like basically making love with the produce in the produce department. Like I just love, and then it was all like HEB. We all loved HEB. So it was just these moments with these characters, and then at the end, we all came together and had like a moment together.
What is next? You have a lot of tentacles out, right? What is your next creative endeavor in that world? Have you auditioned for something? Are you preparing for something that's about to happen? Do you not want to talk about it?
I have a really cool audition that just came through. I'm like, something that I've been wanting to explore that I have not had the opportunity to do so yet is television. So there's something that I'm prepping for. And it's like, I'll listen. I usually will like create a playlist for my characters. But this TV show already has a banging playlist. So I've been listening to that all weekend. I think I'm going to go home and tape that and send that in. But I have...
What does music do for you in terms of a character? Why do you do that?
Yeah, so music for me in general is just medicine and magic, obviously, for me. I say obviously because I would imagine it's
I have
same
no idea what you're talking
for
about.
you, but I never want to say that because how dare two people have the same perspective? I love to give space to yours. Yeah, it just helps me get in the groove of the character. It just like anything that I can do that helps. But I think the thing that really puts it together for me for a character is like the costume, the wardrobe. I just
Right.
like it's like all the things that I've like pieced together that I've pieced that brings the pieces together. And music is a part of that just because it's a part of my own livelihood.
Sure.
And
Do you ever play a character that listens to music that you don't listen
See,
to and
that
that you
is
hate, but you put it on
great.
your playlist to try and encompass that? Sounds
No.
like a no.
No, I don't know that there's music that I hate. Maybe that's why. But I think I would like to branch out and do something that I wouldn't ordinarily listen to. I love a lot of different kinds of music. And like if you're ever in the car with me, I have like one main playlist and it's just so varied. And it's like, oh, whoa, we're over here. It's not like, I don't feel like it's like whiplash, but it's very much like, oh, cool, we are on a journey with Giselle.
Yeah.
And we're going all over the world and like different time frames too.
I don't think that would shock me in the least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're also very worldly.
I'm so worldly.
So I have something that my agent just sent through. But also, I'm working with two very lovely people on two very different projects that they are, I think, both in the beginning of their journey in this part. So I have a friend, Ange, who has been focusing on storytelling and through the lens of perimenopause and menopause and bringing more awareness to that. I feel like there's a lot of conversation that's happening these days about that. Perimenopause is the like precursor to menopause and happens for women. I mean, it's, they used to say like in your 50s or in your 40s, but like as early as in your 30s. And so as if women didn't already endure
It's not enough.
too many things. It's like now your body and chemicals and all of these things are going to be changing. And so just bringing awareness to that. And she's done some really cool shows. And she's like producing on her own and asked me to be part of it as a character that I think she was playing. She was doing a one-woman show, and so she's expanding a little bit, and then I would come in as her Peri godmother. So I'm excited to work on that. And then my friend Miguel, who I met working with Cine, is an incredible, he's an author. And he's an educator, and he has written books. And then he has a book for kids called Macho No Machismo, and he's turning that into a play. And that is about a young boy who wants to be lucha libre, and so really deconstructing the stereotype of what machismo or is, and especially in la cultura of the Latina foundations, and
an important word, a word that needs very important refinement,
or maybe
refinement.
Well, there's macho no machismo, and I mean that pretty much is like misogyny,
right?
Misogyny,
exacto.
Yeah. And so deconstructing that, and like from the perspective of a kid, and so in this, and so he's taken that on the road. He's incredible. He's traveling working with kids, and he's putting on a show. But he wanted to expand that. So for him, the new thing is like writing it for a play, working with some great people that I know through the theater scene here in Austin. There's a character, like now this young luchador has grown up. I play the mother, and I'm talking to Dr. Mercado, who is a talk show host. I always like go back to like Richard Bay. It was like the one that I liked, and I would watch in this teeny tiny TV that I had in my room, like where you turn the channel, like you really have to get your hand in there, crank it a little bit. Richard Bay.
And it makes a sound.
Yeah. And so kind of talking to this woman about how I raised my children and like what could I have done differently, because this guy's an asshole. So that's cool. It opens up a lot of conversation. And then coming from my background and then where I am in my parenting, or where I have been, is interesting because I'm like, oh, there's a lot of places where we can expand
Parallels
this.
and such.
Parallels, and then also like I can help this character.
Right. Wait, don't do it like that.
I'm like, maybe we can open up the conversation to where, this is for other people to learn. But it was like, I think
Growth.
this is an opportunity for the mom to learn too. And then maybe, we can have more conversations with her down the line.
That's great. I mean, that's the point of art, right? Is to
grow.
growth.
Learn,
So,
share.
okay. What is one of your film or TV guilty pleasures?
I'm going to redefine that because I don't believe that pleasure is associated with guilt. I have unlearned that, and I'd like to offer that to anybody else that might need a little nudge in that direction. I'm going to say something that is really funny, and I think, okay, wait, film or, you said film?
Film or TV?
Or TV.
I've been asking that of music, and we can ask that. I can ask you that too, but seeing your world, it's like, it'd be interesting, like, what's one movie that, like, or a TV show that you're like, oh, this is terrible, but I love it.
Gosh.
The sound of not wanting to admit.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm free to share. I just don't know what would be considered something that like other people
Well, if you don't consider
wanna,
anything, then that's the answer.
I guess it's something that I return to. See, it wouldn't be a guilty pleasure. It would just
maybe
be
you don't have any guilty pleasures. That's a good answer
I think
too.
they're all non-guilty.
Apparently.
Not guilty.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say music, and I'm not going to say it's guilty, but I do say it a lot, and people are like, oh, God. Ska was my first love.
Why would people scoff at ska?
I don't know.
Scoffing at ska? No.
Also, it's like I understand more because of my roots in Colombia.
Well, I guess the question is are you referring to like OG Jamaican ska or like
Baby, I grew up in the 80s and 90s third wave ska.
Right,
I was obsessed.
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
No, there isn't. As long as you have an understanding of where it came
the
from.
root.
Yeah, which is lovely, and I love it all. So that would be the thing that I think could be considered, I know I said guilty, but like embarrassing. But that's another thing. I don't get embarrassed.
Well, but that's the thing.
Actor.
I mean, that's kind of the quirky nature of the question is that what's guilty for someone is not.
What about you?
What about me? What?
What's your guilty? I don't even want to say guilty. What is something that you return to for we'll say film, TV, or music that maybe other people may not appreciate?
Def Leppard.
Cool.
Yeah. But then again, Def Leppard's first few records are just badass. So it's not like I'm listening to their latest album or anything, but it's a childhood connection.
Love that. Love to have those connections. Yeah, my childhood connections are like, a lot of the films and like that I grew up with that I enjoy. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Uncle Buck, The Boy Who Could Fly, The Never Ending Story, The Sound of Music.
I don't think those are guilty at all.
No, they're not.
All right. Well, what should people be looking out from you this year, other than Cine Las Americas and theater productions, or if you want to reiterate those as in summation?
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to share. I will say first and foremost, Cine Las Americas, 100%. Being able to continue to be part of the landscape for 28 years and trying to find places where we can continue that creativity or maybe provide something new. I'd like to say, we focus on the Latina and the indigenous creativity and livelihood. It is for everyone to enjoy. Mm-hmm. We used to do a lot of screenings throughout the year. We've kind of brought that in a little bit. we're focusing on developing the festival, and then after that, we love working with our community. There's so many incredible organizations that we get to work with, and there's so much going on. I think in all of the art and all of like keeping that cultura alive. So I would say get out there and see what's going on, even if you don't know anyone. I love doing my own thing, but that's how you meet people, you know. So for me, it's continuing to help cultivate Cine.
And the dates for 2026 are
May 13th
May 13th
through the 17th.
through the 17th.
We're going to be at AFS Cinema, Premier Arthouse Cinema.
AFS as in Austin Film Society. Mm-hmm. See, I know that one.
Yay! Look at you go. And
that's over on
it's in the link.
the Lincoln.
I don't think it's the Lincoln. Is it? Or like is that supposed to be like Lincoln Plaza?
I think it was, but I don't know.
And now they're
Oh, have they just? Is it just? Oh, really?
we don't have time for that. The
it's
link.
just a link. Oh, okay.
Yeah, LINC. And then we are working on some events in the near in that region, trying to keep everything together.
The link region.
The link, yes. I don't know. With the acting stuff, I pop up. I kind of usually only have time for one like major play a year.
Sure.
So who knows what that will be?
Oh, okay. So that coming back quickly before we wrap it up. What do you mean you're suddenly a singer?
I was saying,
or apparently a singer.
I've sang once or twice in a production.
Okay.
But now I'm singing. Did you hear that? Now I'm singing all the time for Story Wranglers.
And how do you feel about that?
I love it. I love the opportunity to do it. I'm learning a lot. And working with an incredible musical director, Tyler Mabry, who I met through my daughter. He used to work at her high school, and so now I get to work with him. And just learning again. See, it's one of my favorite things. Learning, laughing, being silly, creating, and then celebrating the work of others.
Community.
Comunidad.
Comunidad. It's very important. It's part of what this podcast is all about.
Well, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your community.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out and sharing your wonderfulness with whoever's watching. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon.